What if the first rune that's deployed is by some bot? And they sort of deploy, I don't know, a max supply of like 10 and they mint it to themselves. Like, is everyone like, oh my gosh, like that's the first rune, all the value accrues to that, right? Like, no. Like,
I think, no. In that sense, I think like the literal very first rune. So it's going to be a gas war. It's going to be a mempool war. The moment that the Happening block drops and everyone could start inscribing official runes, bro, you're going to see people sending transactions. Or maybe they weren't going to do this. And so I'm planning the idea. Yeah. But you're going to see people dropping like 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 fees and sats to attempt to get the first rune coin. Give me a fat battle.
And then you're going to have people that are going to be front run on they're going to be mempool sniping. I don't know if that could be protected by that time. We got like 69 days, like 68 days.
I'm not sure if it could be protected just because it's something you could just drop through the Ordinals protocol or
the
Ordinals client.
I mean, by that, you also have all of the miners that are looking to get that epic sat as well.
Oh,
two different sort of massive battles that are going to be happening on that day.
Yeah.
All these coins saying they're gonna be the first rune coin. They're all capping. They're all lying. No one knows what the first rune coin is until it actually fucking drops. So they better put their big boy pants on and send 10,000 sats if you want a chance.
But it's safe to say, I'm going to say this once and for all, there is so much opportunity in every direction possible, and it's not going to stop in Ordinals. I mean,
at least for now. Yeah, I think I can't agree more.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Yeah. What about the derps, though? You know a little bit about the derps.
I like the derps.
So,
what's up with that?
So the derps is created by Machine 98 and his crew, and Machine 98, worked, with the BTC Machine, project, and he's worked with Ordinals, and he still kind of does. He's in our, and he airdropped to some of our holders. And then he inscribed the rules on ord.io, and it's super fucking funny. He encouraged, the rules encourage wash trading. Sorry, BTC9. I mean, it's posted on your account. And so you basically have to send the derps. You have to list the derp and then go to another one of your wallets and then post an offer at least 50%. Go back to the other wallet, accept it, and then you start the game.
Is that working well for them? Just for the derp, is it? Because I haven't really seen it too much.
I don't know that it's digital mining like R6 is doing, but it's super fun. They're definitely like being self-deprecative with their posts, like this stuff's going to zero. It's just like
very
super
similar to like Bitcoin puppets and that whole culture.
Oh yeah, and I think from last week's IRL Alpha show with like the Solana people over here talking about like meme coins with pictures. I just think in the past week or so, like this is proliferating, and it's on Bitcoin. It's not just like BRC tokens with no pictures. You have like the BRC 420s that have the 3D and the 2D, and then you have like these fun coins with these great funny ass pictures that just make you cry laughing.
Well, I mean, talking about projects in
you
general,
said digital mining, about like you don't know if derp's gonna have digital mining. That's the thing I find interesting about RSIC, because you literally have to transfer it to activate it, and then at that point it's an indexer that just kind of tracks how many blocks have passed since you made that transfer. And that's it. That's all it is.
Some people are selling their bag, and I can't believe it went up to 0.8. Not to talk about price. Price
0.08. Yeah, 0.08.
0.08.
Yeah. I mean, talking about projects, though, we've had an interesting week for the Quantum Cats, right? Taproot Wizards, the Quantum Cats. What's going on over here, Troy?
Boo. I think it's Boo. I mean, I know a lot about it, but Boo knows a lot about it, too.
No, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let's do it.
Quantum Cats had a mint. We talked about it. I need to go into the project from the Taproot Wizards. Last Monday, we were all hyped. We stacked our, collectively, the whole ecosystem, half the ecosystem, whoever had whitelist stacked their Bitcoin. They were prepped. Supposed to be at 9 a.m. PST, 12 Eastern. And there was a congestion problem, mint problem. It didn't work. Some people got through. Some people got a refund. Some people got cats.
Some people got a refund. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is this bearish?
Yeah. Is it bearish? I don't. I think confusing emotions and being pissed off doesn't mean bearish. It means that why is my TV not working? I thought the antennas were. I thought the cable was ready. Like, what's going on?
But you still want to watch TV.
I still want to watch the TV if it's free.
Do what it takes to fix it.
Yeah. And then they had they tried to mint. Yeah, they were going to mint Thursday. They pushed it, and then yesterday they said no, we're going to do it Monday. So it's like a funny thing is Groundhog Day is tomorrow. And I feel like this is becoming a Groundhog Day event with the Quantum Cats.
So, Boo, is this a psyop though for more FUD, and more FUD equals more bullish? Like what's
so? Okay, no. deving is actually like really fucking hard. What they're doing is impressive, and it's like, oh, it didn't work. They're literally trying a brand new fucking thing on Ordinals, which is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
and I can somewhat sympathize because it's like, bro, I've been working on like for my collection. When I was working with the Ord client, 6 months of straight like I was coming across new problems that have never been like made before, where I had to make an AI bot that was trained on Bitcoin to help me walk through this problem, and it actually worked. And I was like tearing my hair out. But Ordinals is a bitch. Tech problems are supposed to happen. But I think it's fitting. I think it's fitting in the brand of Taproot's Wizards that they're delaying this mint. It's kind of like ironic. It's like an ironic meme.
Going back to like I think episode like 3 or 4, when I think we brought I guess you Boo on for I think like the 3rd episode. I was going through the quadrillion sort of mint, I think during that time, and like the reason I missed a show was like literally because there were so many problems, right? But there's like billions of dollars that have gone through all of these meta protocols, but there's still like infrastructure is a fucking pain in the ass.
So the billions of dollars going through all like those meta protocols are not good meta protocols either. They have a lot of technical issues.
It's no different than buying your ticket for your coveted like favorite band at like the Palladium or whatever the hell, and the line is out. I mean, there's people that still get crushed on fences, right? Yeah. But like they have tickets, they showed up at the right time. So I'm just trying to compare the fact that like those infrastructure problems, I don't know how long they'll keep going, but I have to give it like even Machine 98, not to bring him up again, but he made a very like circumspect tweet about it's not really like the team. There are some just like problems with just being able to push these things out on our time and expecting that stuff.
He actually said, he had a very interesting tweet where it's like, don't underestimate botters and people purposefully DDoSing the site. So there's more stock for them, for the public, so they could bot it. Yeah. And I was like, that's a perfect point.
It is.
It's just all these circumstances that you have to kind of like.
And to answer your question, I don't think it's bearish. I got a little emotional because like I had to go to the hospital. I don't need to get into that, but like I was like, oh, the timing, and it just didn't work.
You sacrificed a lot,
dude. Yeah, I had to drive to my friend's house to give him my laptop because I was like, hey, can you do this for me while I'm under? Yep. So that didn't work out because it got mint.
But so now go to Monday. Yeah. Right? Are you minting now?
Yes.
Okay, you are.
Because yes, I'm minting because I wanted to answer this. I'm minting because Udi, Far, Taproot OGs. It's historical. There's lore behind it. They're well thought out. They're not rushing the Taproot Wizards mint, and they're pushing the space forward. So what? The mint, we get a little humanistic when shit doesn't go our way.
I like spending $4,000 on digital cat JPEGs. I agree with that point because I know people who have spent a couple $100,000 on digital monkey JPEGs.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And I also know, I think, people that have started to spend some interesting money on titanium Cheetos.
Dude, titanium Cheetos.
Titanium Cheetos.
I think some people in this room got... okay, so we covered titanium Cheeto whimsically last week. And the week before, I think, with Swag Toshi told us about titanium Cheetos. So Swag Toshi is an artist. He's a meme pusher. He's dressed as swag. That's we've seen him in real life, and he told us about how the Bitcoin puppets, there's this idea of lore or something like that. There's this element of titanium Cheeto that kind of keeps the floor from going lower than a certain amount.
So look, the titanium Cheeto prevents the puppet's floor price from dropping below 0.015 because the moment that it drops below 0.015, the titanium Cheetos come in and prevent the floor price from going down.
Let's get down to Cheetos.
My question is,
the titanium amigos.
So a few days ago, somebody dropped these titanium Cheetos on BRC420.io.
What the fuck is a BRC420?
It's a 3D, 2D, like BRC with images trading digital art inscription platform. And they went off $8 a mint, and some of us max minted, and in an hour it went up to $100. People made a bag. People were being gentlemen and ladies about trickling down, but then it dropped floor. But it's like, I even got the. I'm not even going to talk about it. But so
was this a degen mint to you, Troy?
To me,
or was this a mint of culture?
This was a mint of culture. I know the Bitcoin puppets didn't do this, but I love that the fact that people are listening and watching the timeline. Bitcoin puppets was the art and meme project that sort of woke up the ETH MFers, and had spaces. You know, TG and Leap had their spaces that
Wait, did they talk about titanium Cheetos?
Oh, dude,
Oh, fuck.
No. They talked
I know they talked about puppets.
They talked about the Bitcoin puppets.
I thought you meant they talked about the Cheetos.
So the Bitcoin puppets have ostensibly like they've disrupted the space in culture and fun, and the titanium Cheeto was born.
Yeah.
And I think it will subsist because last night there was a pre-sale of CC0, which are these fucking cats that look like the images of the Bitcoin puppets, but they're as funny.
These are LLM.
They're as funny. And you had to have some titanium Cheetos in your wallets. You had to have opium. You had to have Bitcoin puppets, and you had to have Shids. It was from the artist of Shids and something else.
Okay, so all of this derived from BRC 420, but like, why should we talk about why BRC 420? Like, what's so cool about it? What's the significance of it? Like, for the titanium Cheeto?
I mean, I think the significance is like you have now a couple different projects that are doing 3D renditions of objects.
Shout out
Bless
for
Bless
Mix 77 Mouse 77.
I think to your question, Boo, like to me it was a degen play. Like that was my first time ever minting something on BRC 420, but it got me in. Right, and then like the next day,
that was also
later,
actually, no, I didn't mint.
Yeah, and then Bless minted this thing, and I was like, oh, I know this. I know this really well. BRC420.com or something like that.
So
and,
would you say that the titanium Cheeto mint allows you to be well prepared for Bless's mint?
Absolutely.
Yes, that worked out fortunately, and I don't know when Bless was thinking about it, but I think I know his eye was on BRC 420 because of his style of art. It just like opened a door. And I don't think it was because of the day that titanium Cheeto went off. He was kind of like talking about it. But when titanium Cheeto went off, I was just like, that's a degen mint. It's culture. It's got images. And then if you copied and paste and save the image and put contrast on, you'd see a puppet in the behind of it. So the next day, Blessed, anyway, we'll get into that later. But like, I just thought his movement and his story behind it was just more culturally like artistic, and then mixed with a little bit of degen-esque because he is a degen as well.
He actually he said something interesting about BRC 420. So like we did research into BRC 420. Like a couple shows ago, actually when Jen was here, but you were always here. So when the female Troy was here, we did research into like BRC 420. It didn't seem that significant, and I looked into the royalty thing, and I was like, that makes no sense. How can we like enforce on-chain royalties, especially when Casey says digital artifacts do not have royalties? But BRC 420 actually does this thing, and Bless explained it, where it was actually the mint. So anybody could mint. It was a free mint, or it wasn't. You had to pay the fees, but in the fees was actually the royalty. Yeah. So like as everyone minted each of their fees for the BRC 420, like Bless got some. The person who like deployed the titanium Cheetos got a royalty. Anyone who drops the BRC 420 could add a royalty to it if it's done through their site. Yeah. So I guess that's how royalties are done. And I find that fascinating. Because why not?
Yeah, and I'm just happy. I'm just happy for him because of the trading volume, the market cap on his project. He's like top 10, top 7. It was yesterday, kind of thing. I'm just excited for him.
The alpha is 7.
The alpha is 7.
The alpha
7.
Is 7.
Yeah, his Discord opened today, by the way. So so talking about rare finds, like finding titanium Cheetos and finding Bless's space that he dropped, like he dropped this project on. Someone found like one of the most epic rare sats by panning with 250,000 American-backed military-grade enforced undead dollars of Bitcoin.
I want to emphasize on that real quick because a lot of people don't understand. Like, to find like the rare sat market, right? You could go on Magic Eden and you could buy a rare sat, whatever. People like found them in listing. What a lot of people don't know is how much billions of dollars you have to excavate in terms of Bitcoin to find at least one rare sat, which is nuts. So I'd just like to add on to the point that rare sat took 250,000 Bitcoin to find. Yeah. You had to shift through 250,000 Bitcoin back and forth through an exchange or other sources to mix your Bitcoin to find that.
The real question is, was that person actually hoping to get that or just any kind of rare sat?
No, when you rare sat hunt, you don't expect to find a rare sat. You can't like pick it out and be like, I want that sat specifically. No, you just kind of like throw your Bitcoin at it.
Maybe you can.
And
rap sats. No, we'll talk about that later.
Start with the rap shit.
All right. Listen. I think to this though, what's interesting, and we were talking about this on the space yesterday, right?
Yes.
With Billy, is it still profitable if you're sort of like a one-man team to do rare sat hunting, right? And I know we talked to Adza. He said it's been getting more difficult and more difficult. And I think miners are coming in. They're recognizing this stuff. They have more Bitcoin to sift with.
Yeah,
it's becoming much difficult.
They're better off. Miners have their own they have their own networks. When you have like there is a cabal. Billy confirmed it. I know you said it, Billy. You did say it, Billy Rusty. So, Adza is he has a 2-man team. It's him hunting and it's his partner listing. But that's as far as it goes for them. Yeah. And he's a tired motherfucker. So I can't imagine how healthy it is. I mean, just trading in general for 19 hours a day, you can't, what kind of life can you live?
No, you can't.
I don't think it's that profitable anymore to be a rare sat hunter. Because it's like, I used to rare sat hunt, dude. It took me, I think I was going through, I had 1 Bitcoin, and this was back in March. And it still took me a whole week to find 4 rare sats. And that was literally sending my 1 Bitcoin to an exchange back and forth, every day for a week to get 4 uncommon sats. And that's how I got the sub 100 common, uncommon inscriptions. I'm gonna plug that real quick. But beyond that, just as of now, it's a lot of miners have recognized the significance and the market of rare sats. A lot of people with a lot of Bitcoin recognize it. Yeah. And people like Danny, actually, this is very important. People like Danny DZ of DZ Labs created something where it's an automated Telegram bot. Yep. Where you could connect it to an exchange API, deposit Bitcoin in it, and it will automatically sift and automatically change your Bitcoin back and forth.
Oh shit!
So it can rare sat hunt automatically for you.
Yeah, and I think
so. Tools like that are out. So it's kind of
yeah, and I think Billy was saying for that specifically, you sort of need at least 5 Bitcoin now
to make it work. Yeah. Because the thing is, you are spending fees every single time you transfer it back and forth, and that shit adds up.
Who knows how long until 5 Bitcoin will become 10? It could be next week. You know what I mean? It could be, I don't know, in the next 2 weeks.
I'm wondering if there's a stoppage on that bot. You go, oh, the bot's running. I'm going to go out to lunch for 2 hours. Oh, shit.
Yeah, you can stop it whenever you want because it's on your phone. It's literally on Telegram.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just stop.
Oh, nice.
And then in terms, you said something about can you pick specific sats? You could actually add filters on that bot. Yep. If you get the specific name sat, extract it. Because extracting costs money. So you don't want to extract everything. You only want to extract things that you value and care about.
So where do you think this is going to be? You're saying there's definitely going to be a scarcity, and especially if people start minting on the rarer sats or the uncommons, and
or just hoarding them.
I mean, how is that project doing now? The commoners. I
think it's at $200 or $300 floor.
Yeah.
So it's about below because it was around 900 when it minted.
Have you heard if they're doing anything with that, with the lore or anything like that?
No, I don't. There's no utility. They didn't they were explicit about that. It was just it's a 10K PFP.
The utility is a sat.
Yeah. I was just curious what's next for them. Because there is artwork.
I don't think anything.
I think usually when you have eyes, physical eyes, drawn eyes on a project. That there's supposed to be a soul that's
rare Solana shitcoin hunting,
and I'm just curious if there's any lore. What was that about Solana?
Rare Solana shitcoin.
Vegan said, "I think I'm gonna pivot to rare Solana Bitcoin hunting."
So you can actually, you can't do this on Sol. You can't do this on. I think there's some possibilities on ETH, but you can do this on Litecoin and you can do this on Ordinals or Dogecoin.
Yeah. Speaking of Solana, their Phantom announced today. Phantom announced today. There are some DDoS attacks on it.
Oh,
today.
DDoS?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Against the wallet
so just be careful. Yeah, be careful out there. You Solana MFers.
Stay strapped.
Yeah, so
Solana poor.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't
know. I mean, do we? Yeah. So I think moving into some of the other, of course, topics we've had this past week is huge announcements from Unisat.
Dude, Unisat.
Fuck Unisat.
They just cook.
Unisat is
in the East cooking.
They work with Binance, and and Binance has that. You can trade inscriptions now on their mobile wallet.
Yeah.
And buy BRCs. Unisat, first of all, did some amazing things. They came out with a big rollout of 6 or 7 items. Their mobile wallet is going to be active and be seamless and super clean to use. And then they have the whole thing with the Jubilee rollout that happened, it caused a disruption. There was a divided line between the ecosystem, and then they came together with Layer 1 Foundation and decided to halt and freeze what was happening between the ORD update between 0.9 and 0.14. And then there's some speculation on this fractal Bitcoin, which we have no idea what the hell that means. We can speculate on that. The black and white module proposal, which is kind of confusing. It seems like it's like the black modules are a little bit unreliable in the sense of knowing how to read them on chain and seeing if it's like truthful in the script. But the white modules are a little bit more transparent.
Wait,
you know,
it is Black History Month.
Oh,
I just wanted to bring that up.
Oh shit!
Man.
As I am half black, please send me 0.1 Bitcoin for my ancestors.
Friend fee. Yeah.
Friend fee.
Happy Black History Month.
Thank you.
Boo,
But you said black and white, and that's what was confusing me. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm
What
talking
is,
about
like,
these modules
the
right
black
here.
module
Yeah.
And the white
modules.
module. But is it like a way to loan Bitcoin? Or
No, it's a way to swap.
Okay.
Swap. Like they built the
Swap
black and white
BRC20s?
Swap. Yeah.
But we already have like a bunch of BRC20 swaps. No?
Yeah, it just seems very convoluted. I don't.
Launched?
Yeah.
I mean, you have Unisat that's using the black and white module, right, as their, I think, private beta.
Okay, so that's live.
Swap. It's somewhat live, right? It's private.
Okay.
And then you have Omnisat, but they're not using this black and white module, and they're not live, right? They're just on testnet. And I don't know of really many others where there's actual volume or eyeballs. You know, there's probably other swaps, but like, who else is doing it? I don't know. My question though to you, Boo, is like, is Unisat the largest company now in Ordinals?
No.
You don't think so?
Well, I think so. Unisat actually had, and this is what pisses me off about Unisat, because all these sweet updates, and they haven't said shit about supporting cursed inscriptions, nor respond to my DMs of support asking about cursed
how many of those do you have, man?
I have a lot of cursed inscriptions.
You are an enemy of the ordinal state.
No, it's just
if you support.
This is my mindset. Look, I could care less about anything else Unisat is dropping until they had basic support for cursed inscriptions.
Man.
Why? Because Unisat was actually one of the first wallets to like support ordinal trading. So like, especially to me or a lot of other people, it's like, it's kind of conditioned. Hey, I could use Unisat for my inscriptions, right? Now there's a literal problem where you have cursed inscriptions, right? And you know, we've gone past the Jubilee, like cursed inscriptions are no more, but there's still a like fixed supply of cursed inscriptions.
Yep.
One would argue that would make cursed inscriptions rare in the terms of the ordinal protocol. And I know it's just a number on a fucking header. Everything's a social consensus. It doesn't fucking matter. But my point is there are negative numbers and you could trade these on Magic Eden. If you're using Unisat and they're not supporting cursed inscriptions, sure, you could buy it just fine. But if you do another transaction on Unisat, there's a chance that your cursed inscription will get used as a fee because it's not recognized.
Exactly.
And it's just fucking gone.
So here's what I propose. Basically, a proposal from us.
What are you going to propose?
I'm going to propose that the whole idea, Unisat came together with Layer 1 Foundation. They thought about the collective, and they did what was right. So I'd say do what's right with cursed inscriptions. Like add that.
Well, what if I don't necessarily care too much about cursed inscriptions?
Well, for the people, people. Like,
it doesn't matter if you don't care about cursed
take care of the people that do and that have them.
Well, listen, I care.
When people minted or inscribed and they were going for a certain project or they were minting something, they didn't know that it was going to be cursed. And there was an issue with the protocol. There was a glitch and they became cursed. So like, voila. Include them. They're not like bastard children.
That's the thing. The other thing that's like also extra annoying about it is Unisat, like the reason for not supporting cursed inscriptions is saying we're going to closely follow the development of the Ordinals protocol and make sure that everything is good. Okay, well, it's been like a couple months since Casey said, okay, cursed inscriptions are staying. They're permanent.
Yep.
Where are your eyes? Like, are you watching the development? Like, why is it still not supported?
Why do you think they actually what's your sort of assumption of why they're not supporting it? Like, there's no volume.
No, there's no reason for them to not support it, bro. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's so easy to add, like I've looked into like the API, like I do some deving, like it's not difficult to recognize a cursed inscription.
No. Do you think there's going to be besides Magic Eden has a wallet, right?
Yeah.
It's in beta right now.
Yeah.
First of all, you guys using it?
I'm testing it. Definitely.
Oh, nice.
Pretty
Okay.
sick.
Oh,
Sick.
fucking
It's
big
sick.
guy over here.
Well,
I
think other than honestly Magic Eden, like Unisat, I think is probably like the only other company that's like really shipping hard. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
They are shipping hard. Like, I'll give it to
Unisat.
them. Like they are developing.
all of those
They all
updates-
done like a lot of cool things.
Yeah.
It's
I
just,
feel like
annoying.
Gaming, you got white black module, you got like
the gaming
mobile.
part I'm really excited about with Unisat.
And Ords Games and Zeph.
And like I've seen some games already. I know BTC Machines. I had a meeting with them yesterday. We talked about some stuff. I love those guys. I've known them, since last year, and I love their history. They've been in games for 20 years. They gave me a whole history of like when skins started and all that stuff. And they were saying that even though I'm excited about gaming on chain on Bitcoin, that the reason why their gaming is not huge now is because kids or people that play games in Web 2, they would play for like $500. They don't need to be playing for 25. Everything's inflated in our ecosystem.
So you think it's an incentive problem?
I really do.
I mean, when you say gaming on Bitcoin, do you mean gaming in terms of like the game engine is running through ordinal inscriptions, or is just a game that uses ordinal assets?
I think it's the latter, the second part.
So it's a game that's off chain, but it uses ordinal assets.
But Unistat's saying it's on chain gaming.
The
What do you think that
means?
means?
Games are going to be off. I mean, they have an engine. But Boo, I want to ask you though. I know you have some strong opinions on this. Like, you're not a huge fan of games on Bitcoin.
I'm
right?
not.
Why not though?
Because it's like,
is it a sham?
Well, so when you say gaming on Bitcoin, are you talking about? Are you talking about?
Don't
see, because that's why I asked that question right now. Because it's like, okay, you have on-chain
broad.
gaming, right? And you have on-chain gaming, like everything's on-chain, and like we've had these games on Ethereum, like Wolfgame.
Yeah.
Like games like that are fucking sick. Those are cool. But then you have like other things where it's I'm gonna bring up kind of like, have you heard of Life Beyond?
Yes.
So that's a game that's like backed by Animoca Brands that's like dropping on ordinals, but their game system is not on chain, but they are using ordinal assets as the game inscriptions. I fuck with both of those viewpoints in terms of like, okay, so we have like an on-chain game, like RSIC is an on-chain game. Like basically it's a gamified thing that's on-chain. And then you have something like Left Beyond where it uses ordinal inscriptions as immutable assets for your game.
I mean, but didn't Trevor just like scrape the API and of that Nintendo game and put it on chain?
Yeah, he has like SE and S's, but like in terms of like that specifically, like it's a cool gimmick.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I could play my Zelda ROM on ordinals on Bitcoin right now, and I'm playing it right now, and I can't save the data because it doesn't work like that. But like at least I'm playing it, and I'm never gonna touch it again. Like that's a gimmick.
I mean, so you're saying like you just you won't play, you won't partake in any of these games.
I'll play.
It has
but
to be
like
fun,
when you say gaming on Bitcoin, there's so like
it's just way too broad.
It's way too broad.
Gotcha.
To be like,
I just feel like it's going to be a lot more congestion, and I want to like buy and trade assets and keep art and stuff like that.
Yes, Doom was inscribed, by the way.
So you only like art?
I don't only like art. Are you kidding me? I like taking walks. I like driving. You jerk.
Barbara Walters over here. But
the fuck? Was I born in 1874? Listen, go ahead.
No, I think everyone likes different, sort of things on ordinals, and I think that's totally fine.
I think
you like something that I don't like? How fucking dare you?
Listen,
in this decentralized ecosystem, you have an opinion.
I'm gonna call these. We all like degenning. We all like buying art. We all like pushing culture. We all like having fun.
And
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and I think we all agree.
No, not exactly.
Yeah, no, I
disagree. I think, like I said, Billy did I think when Billy did BitBlocks, dude, he totally just tricked, not in a sneaky way. He just knew how to engage the audience by using their own assets or other assets on the chain and putting it into a mechanism, and it danced with his mechanism. That sounds so weird. And what?
Well, listen, I think talking about like some art that some people like or some things we like and others don't like is this art for the people.
Yes.
Right. That happened this.
I want to thank.
This past
I
week.
want to thank Rosenbaum, one of our producers or stealth producers. That
he called it out.
All American 49er fan. Let's give it up for the 40. So he gave us the alpha on this thing that was minting over like the last few months. It wasn't selling out, and there was like 2 collections, art for the people. One was 500. Actually, this is your spot. So go ahead.
Good. No, you just keep going.
Whatever. Okay. So 500 over here. You got 3,000 assets over here. And I just wanted to buy some because it's using recursion and like 90s nostalgia and like game figures and just like historical things.
I like Beacon's thing that like it looks like Tumblr shit posts.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was like the vibe
It's too hectic for me though. It's too hectic for me.
Well, oh, you mean like there's so much going on in it?
It's fun. It's like it reminds me of like the MLG memes.
I minted a couple, but like I'm not a huge fan.
I minted because on everything, every piece that I saw, there was a Turkish flag on it, and I mean that was just the kicker.
Like a simulation.
I didn't notice it until after I was like, I got a Turkish flag.
Yeah.
Not that like I was born in Turkey, but I'm saying Turkey.
So do you guys like the art, BitGod? Do you like the art?
No, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of it.
You're an art lover and you don't love art?
No, I mean I think that there's certain pieces of art that you like more than others, right? And like I will say though, like this in particular made me do a double take. you know, and like you're like what, like why this here?
Yeah, I don't.
But that's art though, right? But I don't have to like it.
You don't have to.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, you don't have to like it. I like it.
No, I don't have to. Like, I can appreciate it being art. But, you know, like, is it something I want to hang on my wall? I don't think so.
I wouldn't hang this on my. There's too much going on. I think it's too. There's too dissonant. It's too noisy.
Gotcha.
But it was inexpensive, and you know when Rosenbaum calls something, sometimes I go get it. He works, works with art blocks. Do we know
I
the
trust specifics? Like, is it just so? What I like about it is it's just like literally a clusterfuck of inscriptions that are like referenced. Is it like? Is it just any?
I think it's like sub
right because I recognize them. I was like, these are like specifically sub 1K.
Yeah, you got like Rocktoshi in there.
You got the Bitcoin.
All right, so okay, so what's your favorite art right now on Bitcoin?
Yeah.
And don't say everything from Quadrillion.
Okay, no. I gotta ask you. You kind of hit me with a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I've said this I think a couple times before. It's Casey Rodimer's CC0. It's called Ordinals Art Net.
Those are
they were inscribed.
Yes.
You know, it's not Casey's not behind it. Don't fucking buy it if you think that it was inscribed. It's on his website. All of his stuff is CC0. I just like that. It's actually noisy. It looks like flames. I don't know. I'm gonna get a couple printed out and I'm gonna hang it up on my wall. Like I actually like it that much.
Dude, get us some shirts, man.
Yeah.
Fuck? Let's promote.
Dude, that would actually look sick on shirts, like black shirts.
Shirts, underwear.
No, not underwear.
Tassels.
Not underwear. Maybe pants.
Little.
No, yeah, it would actually look sick on shirts.
Okay.
I have my answers.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's two that popped up in my head. So I love Bless's art because his art are .glb files, aka they're basically 3D objects on Bitcoin. But the cool thing is, like, when you go on ordinals.com to actually view it, and you just like click on it and drag it to move around, like it feels like a digital object. And specifically to me, like it resonates with like a video game that you would play back in the day, and you find this hidden object on the floor, and like it doesn't really add to the gameplay, but you could look at it in your inventory and it looks cool.
Yeah.
So like that's the vibe I get. And I also really like Far's pieces in terms of he did this one print on Gamma that I tried going for and I failed, and I'm pissed.
Like
but it was just this really sick like wavy kind of like infinite. Yes, that one.
Dude,
that sick.
Far is. I will go ahead. Thank you so much. I have a few weeks to live. You know, the thing is about old age. So I love Far is dropping shit, like not on chain every day, but he's dropping stuff on the timeline every day. And I just love, he's so funny to me.
Some of his physicals. Have you seen his physicals?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah.
Years and years ago.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
One of my favorites lately is because it scares the fuck out of me, and I love his story, is Rupture stuff, and I love graffiti. Like sick. I couldn't believe nobody responded to that graffiti post. I dropped it in his chat down in Los Angeles downtown. 30 floors were tagged. 30 floors in downtown next to the Staples Center. Anyway, I love graffiti, but like I just love his story. I love the danger of graffiti. I know Hats is coming out. He's a UK graffiti artist and artist. He's coming out with something soon. And it's also art and physical. It's related to physical utility, which I like. God, what else?
I like that Began said Far sold a piece for $250K, so now I like him.
Yeah.
How the art world works.
He's like a real traditional artist, as well as like he's done stuff that no one's ever seen that would blow your mind as well, like 3D stuff, like like Bless. That like if you get on a call with him, he'll show you, and it's like deep crypto stuff too. I'm talking like Larva.
Yeah. I think most people know, like when they see Taproot Wizards, they want the money. They want that money drop. Like they want to stick with that. And
what do you mean money drop when you say Taproot Wizards?
Not money, just like I want it, like and you want to hold it because it's like going to be legendary. But like it's like he goes beyond that, and most people. Some people don't know that, right? It's like I like when these artists are on, like Bless is on Spaces. He digs in. In the last few months he's learned so much about Bitcoin. I told him last night on our space. I go, dude, when you talk, you just are unraveling in real time, and you're super honest. When you're nervous, you say you're nervous, and I just love that he's active and he wants to push his art and affect people beyond this ecosystem kind of thing. And I just like when people are just active. Yeah. The mysterious artists like Banksy kind of style, like I'd still like cop their stuff, but it's great when you're actually like, man, you're the artist. I still want to buy from you, even though I know the ins and out of you,
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen.
BitGod?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a rap sat?
I guess we're going to talk about it a little bit. So I think, listen, here's what it is. Do not touch it. Like, don't mint it. It's worthless. Right, so I want to preface this little conversation, with it's most
NFA,
likely all worthless.
It's dog.
Yeah, just degen stuff. It's really, I think, just an example, right?
Yeah. So what is
you
it?
You have billions of sats that are locked in Satoshi's wallet.
Yes.
Right. He just has billions, and so why not just take those and sort of unlock them?
Because you can't take those.
No, you can't. Right? Like you can't actually. They're going to be 50% valid.
We could
or
play
somewhat
pretend.
valid.
So what does this? So what is?
All I'm saying is this:
Like bitmaps.
it just leans deep into social consensus, right?
So
if we all believe something enough, we can trade it. We can sort of like base our existence off that. Like,
Well, he
that's what
believes that
Ordinals
he-
is. That's
he-
what Ordinals
So
is.
you
It's
said
all
you showed.
social consensus.
There's an interesting tweet that you tweeted. I'm actually very curious about it. You said that someone used this protocol. I think it was Lindoko, and he took the mythic sat that's in Satoshi's wallet. So that means I can't degen and inscribe it and pretend to own it.
No,
because
so-
Lindoko inscribed it
So
already.
a couple things, right? So actually, Xe Pinata, right?
Uh-huh.
OG sort of Bitcoin crypto artist.
He's a sub 10K
He actually,
goat.
he actually came up with this, WSAT as a framework.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lindoko, right, my good
WSAT.
friend and really co-founder on Bitcoin Art House, he went to him and was like, "Hey, dude, like this is really fucking cool, but it needs to be like simplified, like a lot." And so, he sort of worked it and reworked it and all that sort of stuff. And over the past couple of days, just like going over it. And then sent it back to, what's his name, Xe Pinata. And Xe Pinata inscribed on, Sat 0, which is the sort of.
Okay,
method.
so I can't inscribe on that now.
You can.
Oh, so I can still
first is
inscribe
first.
on it.
But first is first, right? Yeah, first is first. You're still going to
Oh,
be
yeah, I'm
50%
confused. So
valid.
if I wanted to dump on somebody in this protocol, I can't dump the mythic sat because Lindoko already grabbed it.
No, it's not Lindoko. It's Xe Pinata.
Oh, so Xe Pinata took the mythic
yeah.
sat. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so if I make an inscription on that sat, I can't sell that because first is first.
No, you could. It's just like I think. Listen, I think like here's the thing: is if this is ever indexed and put on a marketplace or something like that, it's going to probably have. I would just say like a sattribute or something somewhere where it says 50% valid, 0% valid,
What
100%
Wait,
valid.
what do you mean 50% valid and 0% valid?
Because like the only way, of course, for you to actually be able to inscribe on that sat and not just point to it is if you own it, right? And only
Yes.
Satoshi has that, right? So if you own the W sat, right, the wrap sat.
So if there's actually a
50%
sat
valid.
that's actually in somebody's wallet,
Yes.
that's 50% valid.
Yes.
How?
And so I can go to what I can do actually is kind of interesting. I could do a wrapped sat of the what is it? The parent of Taproot Wizards.
Yes.
Right? I don't know what inscription that is. I can wrap that sat, but here's the thing: is if and it'll be 50% valid. But if Udi wants to move that sat,
That is no longer
it'll
valid.
no longer be valid. Right? But if I want to send that wrap sat to him, it'll be 100% valid.
This is alpha. I love that.
When,
just-
when does this roll out?
It's already rolled out. You can
It's
go do
already
it now.
rolled. You can do it. So
Yep.
you go to the GitHub link and start there, or is there?
It's a Git book, and
Everybody-
I can show you after the show. And yeah,
I'm selling a wrap sat that references inscription number 0 for 1 Bitcoin. It's
Yeah.
in my DMs. I was the first one to inscribe it. Let me know if you want it.
100%. You definitely could. You definitely could.
And
But
when,
yeah.
when did he come up with this idea? Would y'all
Xe Pinata, I think, came up with it Monday, right? And Lynn went to him, I think, on Monday or Tuesday and was like, hey, we need to change it up. He actually also went to, or we went to Eric, right, from Chisel.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, what do you think about this? And he's like, this is kind of fucking cool. Let me ask Casey, though, what they think about it. Maybe they'll sort of work it
Wait,
in.
does this get the KC stamp of approval?
No, hold on.
Oh.
No, he responded because they were at a panel yesterday in San Francisco with
Yes. I
Casey,
saw that
Neuro,
panel.
There was a
etc.
party. It was a party.
Yes, and
Yeah.
so
panel looks
Casey,
sick.
I don't know if it was Casey specifically, but I believe let's just say
Casey was there.
and Raph, Eric presented it, and they were like, "No, that'll never happen." So you guys could, I guess, put it out.
Wait, Lindoko said I could make a 100% valid W sat. That will be Xe Pinata's 50% valid
Yeah.
sat.
So how he could do that, right? Is obviously he'd have to burn or basically send it to Satoshi, right, to make it 100% valid.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Can't
anyways,
own it, so can't sell. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not probably going to be anything. It really isn't anything. But degens will be degens. Have fun, and I think it's just a fun sort of thought experiment as well.
Can we all agree
Yeah,
on
well-
one thing?
Yeah.
Ordinals are dead as fuck. Thank you for tuning in. So what was this, episode 14?
14.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 14 of Ordinals Are Dead.
We
They're
will
dead as
be-
hell, and all the other chains are. Tune in next week, 4 p.m. Tune in tonight at 7 p.m. to IRL Alpha because Thread Guy, Mika, and the Doodle CEO are speaking, and it's a fire lineup.
Huge panel.
Suck a titanium Cheeto. Love you guys.